All right, so we are starting topic 1.4, subtracting integers. Our learning goal, I can find the difference between positive and negative integers. So we know that integers mean positive and negative whole numbers. And so that means now instead of adding them, we are starting that subtraction. So before we get started, we're going to do the warm-up. And in the notes, it told you to complete this while watching this video. And so we are going to work through these together. So all we're doing is just stating, are we adding or subtracting? So on this one, 4 minus 2, so obviously we are subtracting. And so 4 minus 2 is just 2. That one's not too difficult. Where it gets a little bit more difficult would be using our addition rules, and then also the ones that kind of follow after this. So we have our addition sign, so we're adding. But now we have this negative here. And so they're different signs. One is positive and one is negative. And so that means that we're going to actually subtract. So 4 minus 2 is just 2. And 4 is my bigger number. So my answer is positive because 4 was positive. So now we have negative 3 minus 1. So if I have a number line, and here's 0, we have 1, 2, 3. So here is my negative 3. And then it says minus 1, and we know that a negative means that we go to the left on a number line, or a minus means we go to the left. So it's saying negative 3 to the left 1 on the number line. So that means that we're going to go one more spot on a number line. And so now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm at negative 4. So this was subtraction. And now that equals negative 4. All right, so now let's use our addition rules that we just learned in our last few topics. So we have negative 3 plus negative 1. That's same sign, so that means that we add. However, when we add, we keep the sign. So we have 3 plus 1, which is 4. And then both of them were negative, so we keep the negative sign. All right. Now we're going to use a number line on this one because we have a negative and we haven't actually used those rules yet. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's negative 6. Now it says go to the left, but it's followed by a negative 3, so I can't go to the left negative 3. So what we look at when we have two negatives or like a subtraction sign next to a negative is actually saying we do the opposite. So we go the opposite direction than what's in the parentheses. So this is the opposite of negative 3. So the opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. And that means that we are actually going to go to the right, positive 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And now I'm at negative 3. So this was subtraction. And it gave us negative 3. So remember, when we have a negative next to a subtraction sign, it's saying do the opposite. So the opposite of minus, which means go to the left, is to add and go to the right. So that's all that that's saying. So now we have negative 6 plus 3, so we add. These are different signs. This one's negative, this one's positive. So we actually subtract. So 6 minus 3 is 3. And then we keep the negative because our bigger number was negative. So when we look at this, we can see that when we subtract and when we add, depending on how we write our equation, we can actually get the same answers. So this one was subtraction and this one was addition, but yet we got the same answers. And same here. This was subtraction, and that was technically addition. But we got the same answers. So that's what we're going to take a look at during 1.4. So I'm going to have you go on to the next video to get the rest of your notes.